If I had to tell anyone what the main difference between a MGTOW and an incel is, the main difference would be that a MGTOW is someone who has basically given up their desire for women, while an incel hasn't. Now, the main reason I say that is because if you're an incel, you want to have that relationship with women. And I don't just mean a sexual one, I mean psychologically, romantically, whatever. With that being said, though, I believe MGTOW, they just accepted women as they are. It's like the Hollywood movies where it's like, oh yeah, romance is this and that, and MGTOW are like, nope, no it isn't. That's not what it's like. In fact, it has nothing to do with what's in the movies. So this fairy tale romance that we've all been told, MGTOW just woke up and realized it's a complete lie, because the modern day woman has changed. I'm not saying this is good or bad, I'm just saying it is different from what it used to be. And I believe that if you're MGTOW, you realize that because this change has happened, your standards therefore must also go and change to go and keep up. And what I'm getting at is, with the modern day incel, they still are attached to this fairy tale romance, and the MGTOW's like, well, really, women aren't all that innocent. They got their own flaws. And you know what else? The government has actually made it incredibly hard just to talk to a woman without actually being slapped with some kind of sexual harassment lawsuit. So it's not that all MGTOW don't want to associate with women. Me personally, I would not mind having a relationship with a woman. I don't. But the problem is, it's like, that relationship is going to be more of a parasitic one than it is anything else. Because no matter what, as a guy, I'm about the only one who's expected to do anything. I mean, the woman's usually expected to be given a free ride, and it's like, oh, you expect me to do whatever? How dare you, you sexist, misogynistic creep? I mean, it's real bad. It's like, I'm not kidding, the guy goes and does most of the work, and then when he gets home, what happens? Oh, he's expected to go and do 100% of the work and 50% of the housework of the house he lives in. And I'm like, no, that's not right. It's also not right to actually go and believe that because the woman's female, her only job is to sit around and look pretty. Let me tell you this here. As Turd Flinging Monkey would tell you, just get a doll. If you're going to go and have anything remotely female in your house, and it's just going to serve as sexual relief, get a doll. It's cheaper in the long run. And yes, justifiably, I can understand why many people will be angry with that. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not the one who are saying that women are like sex dolls. It is women who have actually raised their standards so much that they don't believe they should be doing anything. In fact, a lot of women believe, well, you know what? The fact that he is benefiting from my presence alone, that is more than enough justifiable compensation. And I'm just sitting there like, imagine a guy saying that. Imagine if I were to sit down and say, oh, well, you took me to dinner, you took me to a movie. In fact, not only that there, but before that there, you've been financing and helped me with this and that and everything else. And I'm like, that's really great and all, but you know what? I don't owe you anything, because as a guy now, the very fact that I have been with you and put up with you through all this stuff, that means it's okay for me to just freeload and do whatever else. Yeah, that relationship would be over in a damn hurry. In fact, how many of you can actually expect a woman to do remotely half of this stuff without saying, forget it, you're not worth it, and then look for someone better? And again, you can go and say, well, it's just sour grapes. That's your problem. You're just some pathetic basement-dwelling loser. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm a loser. But you know what? I'm just not interested in women. Don't get me wrong, I'm attracted to them physically, sexually, all that stuff. But as great as having a relationship would be, it's just not worth it nowadays. There has to be give and take, and the average woman just isn't worth the time or the effort. So it's kind of like, well, okay. It's like, let's go to this high-scale restaurant. And then you go there, the waiters are rude, the food's undercooked, the wait staff have a horrible attitude, and it's just one thing after another, and it's like, okay, you're never going to that restaurant again. And then when you announce that, you're told by the owner, well, you can never eat at this restaurant again. So what do you think of that? I think it's a done deal. Don't worry. Ban me, please. I will never show up anyhow, even if you begged me to come. Or, to put this into another perspective, it is like saying, you can never borrow one of my Nickelback or Justin Bieber CDs ever again. Well, okay. I don't like either of those groups, so no skin off of my nose. In fact, for me, it's a net win, because I don't have to listen to them. So again, what have I lost here? And it's like you're trying to guilt trip me with something I don't want. Telling someone who's not interested in dating women that they're a pathetic basement-dwelling loser isn't going to make any sense at all. I mean, if I was an incel, that would hurt me badly because I'm wanting something I probably can't ever get. Or if I can get it, I'm so depressed that I just don't know what to do, and it's like, well, okay then. Your own self-defeatism is probably why you're not doing it. You know, the usual, I'm too ugly, or, everyone hates me, or whatever it is that incels think. I mean, again, the difference between MGTOW and incel, one group wants it, and the other group doesn't. Or, if you do want it, the desire of it is so small, or been so marginalized over time, it just doesn't really matter anymore. So, yeah, whatever your stance on the incel is, I personally view them as a bunch of lonely, sad, pathetic losers. And I mean that sympathetically. I don't mean that as an insult. I feel sorry for them, if nothing else. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? If you people would just adopt MGTOW, your problems would be gone.